Hello, I'm Joshua Gibson, and today I'm going to be going over my final review for SAS Zombie Assault. We'll start with the tutorial. Changes made here are mostly cosmetic. I added higher grade textures to everything. As you can see, the floors have a more detailed tile-based texture, much like a subway floor. And then I changed the color of the guide fonts to make them a little easier to see. Also, instead of just having static images to give instructions to the player, I created a triggered pop-up that appears and then after a few seconds disappears. As you can see, no matter where, once you enter each individual section, the pop-up appears and then vanishes after a few seconds. Next, we'll head to the fire range. Here in the fire range, I gave it a kind of a wood varnish flooring, as well as the walls. And that's basically the gist of my changes to the tutorial level. I completely rebuilt and restructured the entire thing as well, putting new assets and architecture. Here we have my warehouse level. In this level I did a similar thing where I used the same assets that I created for textures and placed them all around the map to allow it to be a little bit better looking. But I also created and implemented new crates specifically for this, as well as added some broken crate designs scattered about. This is to give it the ambiance of more of a decrepit warehouse, kind of like I intended to begin with. I also, in building the new crates, changed the size and layout of the level just a tiny bit in order to allow for the new structures to fit in. Collect my key here. And to give the player easier to see routes, they can use the shortcuts to get to the exit. Those are all of my changes this and I thank you for watching.
Hello, my name is Aaron Jones and I'm on Team Koala Mamas and this is my capstone final review video. Alright, my first big task was for final quality of life improvements. User story. As a level, I would like a good amount of polish and to be bug-free for an enjoyable gameplay experience. I have no dependencies and completion criteria to fix jank with telekinetic cubes, add better quality textures to walls and floors, make lights flicker to add immersion, create better desk and table assets, make telekinetic cube more interesting, add effect to magic, add effect sounds to telekinesis, fix camera bug when jumping through first floor window, and to rework upstairs box puzzles. And my other task was to improve the final box puzzle. As the final puzzle of the level, I would like to challenge the player in utilizing what they have learned while also being functional enough to not break or stop player progression. Dependencies of player and the telekinetic cubes, and the completion criteria is to restructure puzzle so it is less janky, fix cube clipping through wall bug, and improve enemy placement in final hallway. Alright, get my build up here. Mine is the first level in our game, so as you can see I applied some textures to the wall and floor, give it a little bit of polish. Here's my desks. The objective is to escape through the second story fire escape. You can use Q to use magic, which does that. Yeah, here are my new cubes, a little more interesting looking. It's got that very intense sound effect when you use it. Before you used to be able to just wing the cubes across the building, so I made it a little less jank in that regard. And there's the bug I fixed through that window. Let me dispose of them real quick. Eliminate these guys. And go upstairs. These two puzzles are the two that I reworked. And this one I just added an additional cube in case people couldn't find this one. Go through here. Switch to my assault rifle. Move all those. And this is my final puzzle, which used to just be, you could just jump across and win it, but I made the hole deeper, so now you could throw these cubes in there and have a nice way to get across to the exit. Alright, thank you for watching. We'll see you later.
Hello, I'm Alex Ivangescu, and this is my final milestone review. So for this milestone, I worked on my sewer level as well as my elite enemy level. So let's start with the sewer. And the sewer reads, as the player, I want the sewer level to be more detailed and have more props and textures to see. Have an abundance of random props. Have little animated props such as rats. Have detailed textures for floors, walls, and other assets. Have audio including music, ambient noises, and triggers. So this one's in progress because I didn't finish the rats. Now if we take a look, there's all these traffic cones, all these textures, and all these barrels that are explosive. If I were to hit them. There we go. Got some planks, some more, just to liven up the place, like a desk and all that. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And if you listen carefully, there's like a sewer sounded drip sort of thing. So there we go. Next up is the sound effect settings, which is, as the player, I want to be able to control all the sounds in the game, so I am able to balance my audio. Completion criteria is to have a slider in the pause menu and have the slider change the audio of everything not music related. So if we hop back in, we hear the sounds, the shooting, and then when we lower that SFX slider, it should make it a little more quiet. Next up is the controls menu. So as the player, I want to see all the controls for the game so I don't get confused. Have an option in the menu to reach the controls panel. Have the controls panel show mouse and keyboard with all the buttons, and have the button to leave the page. So if we hop back in, I press pause, I go to controls, and here's the page, and then we go return, and we're back. Finally, for the sewer level, we have slowing sludge. So as the sludge, I want to reduce the player and zombie move speed while dealing damage over time. Make the sludge make the player slow, make enemies slow, damage the player's armor, and then if they don't have armor, damage their health instead. So if we take a look, when I enter the sludge, I lost my armor a little, and now I slow down, I'm out of armor, so now I just lose HP instead. And the final milestone I finished was as the player, the garage finalization. As the player, I want the garage to be more detailed, and it's the same as the sewer one, except the animated props are lights and things of that nature. So if we hop back in, I'm going to return to the main menu, select the level, go to the garage, and as we see, there's a lot more detail now. I put concrete on the walls. There's the noise as we get closer to the alarm, and that's the animated one. And yeah, it was a nice touch. A detailed room, and as we continue, we'll see all the additional props I added, like this little sign, these barricades, these spores. So yeah, there's a bunch of little things. Now for the ones I did not finish for this milestone were the advanced bestiary and the door finalization. So for the door, I was supposed to animate it with audio and not have it disappear. I did not get that far with that one. And then I was also supposed to make the bestiary unlock slowly over many kills of the enemy. And if we look, it just instantly unlocks for each one we killed. And I forgot to mention, the last one I finished was Koala Prop. As the prop, I like to reference the creators of the game and provide the player with an insane amount of rewards for finding me. So I have to have a koala model, have it glow, and have it provide the player with all items when picked up. So when we look in game, when they get to the roof, they'll see this strange glowing koala, as we are the koala mamas. And there's this little secret ledge, and when they get to it, the player will turn purple, get all their ammo back, get a bunch of money, I think it's 1,000, and an extra life, if I'm not mistaken. Oh no, they heal and get armor, and that's about it.